And so the question is from Justin Tidwell, and he says, I wonder if ESBC will sign Mike Tyson, or is he licensed with EA? So the EA deal with Mike Tyson, I don't know who knows, or if anybody knows, if that deal has expired. So he was in EA UFC for maybe a couple years, but he's not in EA UFC 4. So that's very interesting. And that's something to consider, because he's not in EA UFC 4, which would make you think that he's probably not still signed unless he re-upped. Okay. So because of that, and because I've been really watching this ESBC thing close. I have some connections within the boxing world, some people that I know, on the management level. There's some fighters, there's promoters, and on just about on every level, right? I covered combat sports for about 11 years on Bleacher Report and Forbes, and some on heavy.com. So in what I'm understanding and what I believe, I happen to think he is going to be in the game. I do believe it. At one time, I thought no, right? At one time, if you'd have asked me this like about 4 or 5 months ago, I'd have been like, nah. But in the consistent progression of this game and the consistent raising of the bar from a visual standpoint and from a roster standpoint, I just believe that this Tyson is definitely going to be somebody that they will target. And because I don't know this for a fact, but I do not believe that he's still under contract with EA, or at least not under an exclusive deal with EA. And based on stuff that I'm hearing, I'd be surprised if Mike Tyson is not in the game. I'd be surprised. Like I can't say that for sure, and I can't confirm that. But at this point, I would be surprised if he's not. I will tell you this though, there may be some other really big additions coming to that roster too. So they may not. I don't believe that. As a matter of fact, I know that they're not done dropping significant additions to the game, to the roster. I know they're not. So we'll see. Now, as we talked about, release date. Release date is the big thing. It's the big thing with them. We don't know when that'll be. We don't know what's happening. Like I said before, I don't doubt that the game is releasing. I happen to know that the development for the game is so far, so deep into the game. There's so much already done. The delay at this point, I do not believe is technical at all. I'm sure is there probably some bugs and things that are being ironed out still, yes. But I don't believe that the delayed announcement of a release date, I don't believe it's technical at all. I think it's all about business. And that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Another good sign, in my opinion, is that EA did not revive Fight Night. And because I believe that it would have been very difficult for ESBC to claim a significant aspect of the boxing demo if Fight Night had come out. Because if EA had announced Fight Night at EA Play, it would have swept everything out. Like, you would have had a couple hardcore people who have really latched on to ESBC saying, yeah, I'm gonna wait for ESBC. That's the one I like the most. You would have had some people saying that, but the majority of boxing video game fans would have been like, Fight Night coming, and that would have been it. And I'm telling you, I just know how it works. The bigger budget, the whole nine. But I happen to know that this roster for ESBC is pretty significant. And if these guys, now I'm saying if, because I can't say for sure, but if these guys are on exclusive deals with ESBC, I don't know what's left out there for Fight Night to get into their game to make their game viable. Because I'm a person that doesn't believe you necessarily need the biggest names to sell these sports games, but I know that the majority of the companies believe that. And you want to know how? I know I was, I've had some conversations with, marketing people and people like that, just across the different industries, right? For several different companies, right? For sports video game publishers and developers and that sort of thing. And all of these decisions are numbers based, right? They look at They look at athletes, they look at their Twitter following, they look at their engagement levels on social media, and they're trying to find who are true needle movers. And before they go forward with saying this person is going to be on the cover or this person is going to be the face of the game or whatever, they're looking for who they can present data and analytics to say these people move the needle. And there's not a lot of fighters left that ESBC hasn't, because first of all, there's not a lot of people in boxing who truly move the needle. And when we're talking about people who truly move the needle, we're talking about people that when they fight, casual fans pay attention. That's when you know you're a needle mover. If you fight and only the hardcore people pay attention, you're not a needle mover. You're not. You are a needle mover when the person who watches 1 or 2 fights a year makes sure that they either watch you or knows what happened when you fought. That's when you are a needle mover. So UFC, Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, when she was there, honestly, I don't even know if UFC had Francis Ngannou is kind of, but not really. It's not a lot of them, right? It's not a lot of true needle. And to be honest, Logan Paul and Jake Paul are needle movers for all the wrong reasons, but you can't deny it. You can't deny it. When they fight, people pay attention. So do not believe or do not put it past ESBC or Fight or EA if they ever wanted to get back into boxing, or if even from an EA UFC standpoint, if they started to include people like that in their roster, because those people are needle movers. So I just don't know what's still left out there for EA on that end. So we will see. But to answer the question more simply, I do believe that Mike Tyson is going to be in ESBC at some point. I don't know if it'll be launch. I don't know if it'll be post-launch. I don't know if it'll be down the road, because I don't think ESBC is planning to be an annual release. I think they're planning to run their game like a live service. It's going to come out and you'll see some updates over the years, over time. And then maybe in the 2 or 3 years, you'll see a major update. But I think that's the route that they're going to take from the very beginning. I think it's a smart route. I can't wait to see what it's going to be.